Ficus Benjamina is known for its beauty, its elegance, and its drama, because very often people avoid having Ficus Benjamina because it's a little bit tricky to grow it, and I don't even say to propagate it. Some people, even if they buy it, they just put it in their place and they don't touch it. They don't want to propagate it, they don't want to repot it. But if you learn a little bit about them and you understand how they grow, it's very easy to propagate. And this video is exactly about propagation, the mistakes, what to do, how to do, what not to do. This is also very helpful. And of course, also soil or water. So in this video, we're going to propagate Ficus Benjamina by cuttings, just like so. And I'm going to show you how to do it, how you can do it even in winter, which is not the best time to do it, but still you can absolutely achieve these results. So these are cuttings that I propagated in winter just because one of the stems broke, so I had to propagate. And this is exactly the roots that I have for now. In this video, I'm going to tell you the whole process, and I'm going also to plant these cuttings in the soil. And let's talk about soil as well. So what I have here is two identical plastic pots with soil, with the universal potting mix that I use for most of my plants. You can use any potting mix. You can just add a little bit of perlite in it to make the quality of the soil a little bit better, because perlite is amazing. It absorbs the extra humidity and then gives back to the soil when the soil gets dry. The pots have also holes in them for sure. Now these cuttings are all with roots, but some cuttings are really small, just like this, and some are quite big. So for example, this one. So I would recommend, of course, planting not only just one branch, but several together, but choose maybe the stems that are more or less equal, meaning that the size, the strength of them, because if you plant very small cutting with a little bit bigger one, through my experience, I've come to the conclusion that the bigger one starts to grow way faster, and it takes the nutrients and the humidity from the soil much better than the small one, and it's kind of grows into a dominant plant, and the small one is just surviving, but it doesn't really do well. And I've seen this with many other plants, but specifically also with my Pachira aquatica cuttings, my money tree cuttings. If you would like to see the propagation about that plant, you can also click on the video that will be here somewhere in the link and also in the description. But basically, again, water propagation. You can do it basically in spring. It's the best time to propagate any plant. And again, I want to show that even in winter, it's absolutely possible to propagate your plants, even though yes, they're not growing very fast. They're not growing, flowering or thriving. They are sometimes dormant, sometimes slow, and usually it's not the best season for propagation, because you will have way more success with your cuttings in spring and summer, maybe even early autumn. However, one of the stems broke from my Ficus Benjamina, and if this happens to you as well, do not throw the stems away. You can propagate them. Yes, even in water, it maybe take a little bit longer than in spring, but you can still succeed with them. So if you would like to propagate, so what kind of stems to choose? Don't maybe take the stems that are already wooden, and also don't take very weak, very new fresh growth. So somewhere in the middle, you can take a branch of, I don't know, 40 centimeters, 30, depending on what you have, and then you can cut them into smaller cuttings as well. So here I will have, I believe, 6 or 7 cuttings, and I want to plant them in 2 different pots depending on their size. So 3, 4 will go somewhere and 3, 4 will go in another pot, so that we have the same chances for growth for the cuttings, because as I've already mentioned, I want to plant smaller ones together and bigger ones together. In terms of the soil, I've already told you basically any potting mix. There are potting mix specifically for ficuses. You can also choose those, but if you don't have, any potting mix will work. Any potting mix, I mean, with perlite in it. And yeah, let's just get into it, because it will be very easy just to plant. But yes, another thing that I wanted to tell you also is that when you cut the stems, you will see white juice, white sap coming out of the stems. What you can normally do, you can either wash it just under the water and just let it dry. You can also put the cuttings on a napkin and wait for 2-3 hours until the stems dry out, or you can just take this napkin and proactively dry the cuttings, the places where you cut, and the sap will stop, and then it will be already safe for you to put in the water. This is how I did, and 100% succession rate with a success rate, not succession rate, but so so this is how I did it, and now let's plant. And while I plant, I will also tell you what to do after you plant them. 2 and 3, this is a little bit smaller, I would say, and this is also definitely a small one, and these are the bigger ones. So we have 4 big ones here. Oops, you don't see them right here. So you have it here. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. This can be actually with these ones as well. We have 5 here, and we have 3 here. I'm not sure, to be honest, now, because you know what? Let's do an experiment. I will plant these 2 together. I will plant these 3 together, and these 3, let's braid them, and let's see if we can actually come up with something. Basically, what I would do, I would put a rubber band here. No, it's not enough. So just 2. Okay, so we have 3 bigger stems there, bigger cuttings, then 3 smaller ones here. So 1, 2, 3, these are pretty small. And we have 2 more or less, again, taller, similar ones. What I would like to do, so if you have 3, maybe you can even braid them. In this case, I want to just basically, I don't know, make them grow together and see if this will work. Now that we have many cuttings, we can also experiment a little bit. So if I don't break them, it would be ideal. I heard already a click, but no, it's okay. Maybe I will plant them just like this and see if they will, you know, kind of grow together. So let's start with this one, and we move on with planting right now. So we have the soil already here. We just make a hole with either a stick or a finger, doesn't really matter, and we put the cuttings in the soil, and we slightly push the soil just to make it a little bit firm, but we don't press it too much. And we will water as well. For the watering, by the way, I do not use fancy cans or anything. This is just orange juice, basically a bottle from the orange juice, and I use this kind of things to recycle. So what I did, I watered just a little bit because the soil is already moist, and this should be enough, because if I do too much, I may run the risk of overwatering just from the beginning, and then I will see that, you know, I will have root rot and all the problems coming from it. Now these 3, we can basically grow them a little bit separately so that we give them space to grow as a bush to make a fuller pot. So we will have 1, 2, and 3 holes here. Don't worry too much about the roots now, because they will get adjusted and everything will be fine. Don't worry about how you position the roots and what you do. Just make sure that you put them in the holes and don't break them. That's the most important. And if the roots stick out of the soil, you can just gently push them down into the soil, and that should be enough. So now we hold them in place like this, you know, and we cover the cuttings with soil, and again separately we press them into the soil so that they stand firmly in their spots, not tilted, not laying down, not bending on each other, but basically just like this. And again, we can water. The water should be also the temperature of the room, so not cold, not hot. And you may need to also add a little bit of soil, just in my case, because this is definitely enough for now. But I would say as soon as I see they're growing, or even now, I can just add a little bit of more soil to give them more space to grow. So just like this. And these other 3 I will plant in a bigger pot in a little bit. This will be the same procedure basically. And that's it. So if you have any questions, please write them down in the comments. I would like to, of course, discuss with you all your questions, issues, anything, any topic that you have about Ficus Benjamina. And if you like the video, please consider subscribing and also share the video with your friends, because this is how we reach more people who are interested in growing houseplants. And this is the potting mix if you would like to test with this soil. It's from Cyber Soil. You can also get a discount code. It will be in the description of this video. And stay patient about plants, and I will see you in the next one.